One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
From the heart of Appalachia, located under a shopping mall near the city that moves mountains, you're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum.
Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Greetings.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Blockers?
And we also have a special guest. Queen, do you want to introduce him?
We have Alan on with us, Chaotic6033 from TikTok, and he likes to ruin a whole bunch of shit for me.
Yes.
And like do these deep dives on things. I'm like, why? Why do you have to ruin these things? But anyway, so I wanted to talk about the animals that are all coming back to life and being found that exist. But yeah, he's been on the show before.
Yes, and we always love to have him on. You know, welcome, Chaotic.
Thank you. I love being here. Appreciate it.
I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving.
I did.
I ate way too much.
We had a no turkey day.
Oh, well, what kind of desserts did you have? Let's quiz everyone right now, especially on Twitch. Alan, you go first. What was your favorite dessert to eat for Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Always apple pie and vanilla ice cream.
There you go. That is a good one. Rebecca.
My favorite all-time Thanksgiving dessert is chocolate cream pie.
Oh, that's another good one. Dirtydan.
Banana pudding.
Mine is also banana pudding. Now, let me ask you a question because some people think I'm weird, and I am, but that's fine. I like my banana pudding heated up.
Mm-hmm.
Are you the same way, or do you like yours cold?
No, I like it heated up with cold whipped cream on top.
Oh, there you go. We have some comments coming in. Apple pie.
The wafers just get better. I mean, like chunky banana pudding, like not the pudding pack.
Well,
like you got your wafers, your banana chunks.
If you eat it when it's first warm and it's like poured over the banana wafers. Vanilla wafers, it just like, it just melts in your mouth. I mean, it's so good. And I had never ate it that way until I actually wasn't a fan of banana pudding until I was like 15 years old. And my grandmother that, pretty much helped raise me, she's not with us anymore. She's like, try this. And I actually had a hangover one morning and she just made some and I tried that. I'm like, this is pretty good. So.
Hold on, an Oreo truffle?
I have had one of those. Those are really good as well. Peanut butter pie is good as well.
What does an Oreo truffle look like?
It looks like a truffle, but Oreo themed.
Yes.
Like a mushroom truffle? That's what we're talking about?
No, I'm assuming like a chocolate truffle.
Oh.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Like the fancy candy that comes in a red wrapper.
The Godiva or whatever they are.
They are delicious.
Lasagna.
They are delicious.
Yeah, yes, she says. Very yummy.
I want to make a special show announcement that I've not told you guys about backstage. And I want to get your guys' opinion. For you guys watching right now on Twitch, for you guys, why are you...
Because you always start with that. Well, I got some news and I didn't tell you backstage, and then you just like drop these fucking bombs on us.
No.
What do you want to be in our lap today, Goose?
This is no big deal. I want your guys' honest opinion. Before and in the past, we had also posted this right now on the YouTube page. And then we ran into some problems on my end. We had some problems on Rebecca's end. Yeah, Goose has a cluster of bombs for you. But there is a way now that I can start posting this on YouTube. So I want everyone's opinion right now that's watching. And if you're listening to the podcast, please email in and let us know. Should we keep the audio version of the podcast and add this version as well, which is a seeable video version, or should we just start uploading this version, the video version, and use the audio version when we don't record live shows and have special shows and so forth? Yes, go ahead, Rebecca.
I agree with Karma that you should do both.
Okay.
And here's my reason why is because this is live recorded on Twitch, but Twitch only holds my past videos for like 8 days, I think. So after the video's 8 days old, it disappears. Like you can't go back and rewatch it.
Right. Well,
So
I
think that people enjoy watching the interaction and the people, and then some people like give multiple options. This was the advice that Rachel gave to me is like, especially with the writing, like if you're going to do the writing, like make it in your illustrated form and then also have it in a plain text form. If people want to read that, do an audio version of it. Like you can take that same content and spread it out into all these different medias.
That's a great idea. Now, one of the reasons that I've kept on doing the audio version is because so many people has messaged before and they've talked about how, hey, I love this. I turn it on at work. I don't have to watch it, and it just goes straight through. I probably will start doing both. What do you guys think about me posting the video version on Tuesdays and the audio version on Thursdays on our YouTube page? Because what I'm actually going to do, and I have the capability now to go in Twitch and download this episode, and then I can re-upload it to YouTube. Whereas before, I was having... Yes, well, this is like one step, and that's pretty much it. So it's nothing like it was before. You won't have to send me anything. I can do this all on my end. But
and that was the problem is like the whole Dropbox thing failed, and then I was trying to upload it to the other thing that I was like a shared folder.
Yeah.
And it stopped allowing like downloads and uploads, probably because I didn't pay for it. But
no,
this is better.
Yeah.
And I went in and changed some of the settings on my Twitch. So I wonder if that's why you can download the videos now, because I unchecked some boxes.
No, I have a secret app that I can download stuff from the internet. So,
everybody wants both. You got to do both now.
Well, and I will. And thank you guys very much for your opinion. Dirtydan, do you think we should do both as well?
No, I'm just going to go with the people.
Okay. Chaotic?
Do all the things.
Okay.
All of them.
Since I've been posting on TikTok, and hopefully I'll still have that main account today. There's a chance it may not be there after today. But I do have some other things in my cell phone. I have upgraded some of my software and so forth on my phone and MacBook as well. So you want to go ahead and get started with some email? And it looks like Dirtydan's got the first one.
All right, we got Luke Fugit writing in. It says, good episode once again. At the start of the episode, you were talking about how just discussing something like Snap-on tools or Ford trucks resulted in unprompted ads. The how to tie a tie thing is kind of surprising. It goes a lot further than that. Google, Amazon, Apple, Samsung, etc. track and listen to you from way too many devices. Siri doesn't just listen when you say her name. The same with Hey Google and Alexa. Being tracked for ads is bad enough, but as you know, our lives are monitored by the government as well. Our searches are edited to match what they want us to know. Tony and Richard have easy access to us, and therefore anything you do on a phone or computer. I've been experimenting with more secure ways to browse the internet and stop this eavesdropping. Not much can be done about smartphone tracking unless you just use a flip phone. Oh, sorry. Possibly a Linux phone would be a more secure option, that is, until our favorite social apps are downloaded onto it. Computers, however, can be much more secure. First thing is to get away from Windows and Mac OS. I like MX Linux. It is a secure and stable OS. Next, use a VPN. NordVPN is good. I use Surfshark myself. I prefer that over Nord. They, of course, can track you through your web browser as well, especially Chrome browser. I have tried Tor browser, but it works well. Tor browser uses an anonymous network of computers to connect to the internet. Your connection is forwarded from one computer to the next. Each connection is only aware of the previous one. This makes for a very private connection. As for a search engine, Start Page doesn't track you. These are just my suggestions, and the non-tracking only works if you remove the other devices from the equation. I have my MacBook Pro set up to dual boot. If I search for something I don't want influenced or tracked, I boot it up in Linux and search that way. Well, thanks, Luke, for all that information. Now that we just read it, everybody's going to have that shit shut down.
No, they're not. And I actually messaged Luke back and thanked him, and he mentioned
look what happened to DuckDuckGo.
It's owned by Google now. So
my point.
And I want your guys' opinion on this, and I mentioned this to Luke. The Tor browser, I've always kind of been hesitant of, for the simple fact was that's what people use to access the dark web. So I've always kind of been really hesitant on putting that on anything of mine.
Well, if anybody didn't know, they know now.
I mean, they claim that it's safe. You can use it to, surf, the non-dark web, but I've always been hesitant about it.
Well, if you download it and you don't use it to surf the dark web, then you have nothing to worry about then, Goose, right?
Well, yeah, but if you do want to surf the dark web, here's how you do it. You get a laptop that is not affiliated with you. Do not put any personal information in it at all. Download first, get a VPN. You can get some free ones. Download the VPN. Go to and download the Tor browser. Go to McDonald's or your local library or somewhere that has free internet. Preferably in the parking lot, stay away from cameras and so forth, and then you can do whatever you want to. So,
everybody taking notes?
So, Chaotic, what's your thoughts on that? Have you ever surfed the dark web?
I have. It depends on what we're talking about here. Like the VPNs and all that crap, like it's good for base level hiding, but if somebody wants to find you, they're going to find you.
Oh, yeah.
If you're plugged in, it doesn't matter what you put on your computer, what software you have, none of that. They're going to find you. So they're going to find what you're searching. Even if anything that's plugged into the system, they're going to be able to find you, period. I mean, if you don't believe that, then you're still asleep. So hiding, like with VPNs and all that, to me, is just for base level people, like police stations and things like that. But
right.
We're talking corporations and government and all that. I don't really believe that you can put anything on your computer or phone that's actually going to mask who you are.
You would be surprised at how many police stations don't use a VPN.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of a scary thought.
Well, I mean, I am just being honest. Some of them do, but more of them, I would say 85% of them don't use a VPN. Now, I'm not saying that they don't have special things on their computers and their police cars and so forth that, they do have special firewalls and stuff set up. But as far as no, about 87% don't use VPNs.
That's crazy.
So, and up until recently, and I know that this is probably boring. I'm sorry if this is boring, you guys. Any software that law enforcement used up until recently, and I'm talking about the last 6 months, only worked on Windows. There was no Apple version or iOS version up until like 6-7 months ago. And then you've got some that's been coming on the market, but they're not taking off like they thought they would. Rebecca, do you want to take the next email?
Sure. This one's from Dixon09. Hello, everyone. Dixon09 here. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I hope that Dirtydan's hemorrhoids are under control. I got my elderly father a squatty potty, and that might be something Dan needs to look into.
I'm still
I've
waiting
been
for the
doing
hammer.
some reading online about predictions for 2023 and came across a Nostradamus prediction about space for the next year. It said, light that will go out on Mars. This fits with the recent happenings in space exploration. I know that Galileo was the first person to observe Mars in 1610, shortly after the telescope was invented a few years before. Mars was named by the ancient Romans due to its red appearance. First, what do you think Nostradamus' prediction means? And second, how did the ancient Romans correctly name it after a god of war in regards to its red color? Roswell.
That's a very good question. Thank you very much, Dixon09. Chaotic, do you want to go take that one first? You're the guest.
I don't really know too much about Nostradamus. I mean, I followed it a little bit, but I haven't really dug into it, so I can really answer that question honestly, like truthfully.
Rebecca?
So I saw this TikTok. I follow this one creator. I cannot remember the name of the account. But she was talking about and this is what came into my mind as I was reading this, is she was talking about, well, if everybody was conscious and awake and aware, then there wouldn't be any war. And she was like, but just like how everybody is on this ascension process, like us humans are on this ascension process, it ties into the planetary ascension theory, right? Like that every being, every living organism, right? Planets, animals, nature, people, they're all trying to climb this ladder, right? To get back to their God state. Okay. So, and then she went in to explain this, that there will still be war because as these planets move and cross paths with each other, she said that it was similar to someone shouldering you on the side of the road, and you're well, what the fuck? And because the language and the energy gets transferred differently down, right? Because shit rolls downhill. So on the planetary level, that brief instant breaks down into years on Earth, and that energy is war. That's how we interpret that energy, and we turn it into war because planets fucking bump shoulders. That was the analogy that she used. And it kind of if I tracked the planets and that we are hurling through space and that these planets pass each other, that holds. I can follow that. But I struggle with that part of it. But the light that will go out on Mars, it just reminded me of that. Is Mars going to ascend to the next level so that it's not going to be this energy that it has? It's going to shift. That was a long rant that I got there.
Well, years ago, I used to be, I guess obsessed would be the word with Nostradamus. I have went back and found that since we've got this email. I'd never heard that one before. For people that do research and study Nostradamus, he didn't leave a lot of predictions or quatrains or his writings after the year 2012. There is some scattered out, and I think his last one might even mention specifically 2063. That might be his last one that he ever wrote or whatever. Let's see, was it the light will go out on Mars? I kind of interpreted that as the way that we are allegedly doing space exploring right now. There may be a catastrophe, and somebody may crash, whether it's us or China. There may be some deaths from it.
So the prediction is for 2023. So the lights will go out on Mars, suggesting that humans could possibly visit the red planet in 2023, and it's stating predicting World War III.
Well, that's
breaking. So that falls in line then with the theory.
So that's very possible. Dirtydan, what's your thoughts on Nostradamus and that prediction and Mars
it's a lot
being
with
red?
What Rebecca just said. I feel like the lights are going to go out. It's not a thing anymore. We'll end up being there by then. Something's going to just transition to make that part of everyday life.
Yeah,
just.
Or how about they find out that Mars isn't real?
I was thinking about that. It could go the other way.
Now, there was actually someone, was it last spring, Dirtydan, that they sent us pictures that were allegedly taken from Mars, and they were linked from NASA or somewhere. And you could actually see trees on part of these aerial photographs. And they were taken like in the early or mid 2000s?
I think, early 2000s, I believe.
So what was the satellite that went up there in 2000 that explored Mars, the first rover? I can't think of the name of it, but they were
Perseverance.
Yes, they were taken from that. And these photos, I mean, if they're real, they're mind blowing. They're like, whoa, I mean, but you can actually see, nothing, and then just a big bunch of trees, and then I'm fascinated by space. He doesn't really have hemorrhoids. He has a cold.
Thanks, Purple.
Have you followed all the stuff they found on Mars? Like they've taken pictures of it?
Yeah.
You mean the stuff they've allegedly?
It's kind of dumb. It's kind of stupid. Like the string and the rock that looks like a cat. And it's just, I can't.
I struggle to get fucking pictures of Mars and cats walking across the fucking Mars desert, but I can't get service in fucking the middle of Kentucky.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Alan, all that shit they keep finding, all I can think of is that I am underneath the sandbox looking up at all the shit that kids are shoving down in the sand.
Well, as long as you're not buried in a litter box, you'll be okay. Calvin writes in, greetings, Earthlings. I hope you guys across the pond at Here to Chew Bubblegum have a great Thanksgiving. Reports from my homeland about UFOs are on the rise. I can send you some stories if you want. Sending love and good wishes from, Derbyshire, UK. Roswell. Thank you very much, Calvin, for writing in. Yes, please send us any stories, links, whatever, and we will talk about those on the show. I want to thank everyone for writing in. You can always call, text, or leave a voicemail by calling 606-373-3396, or how can they email Dirtydan?
They can email Goose at heretechewbubblegum.com, Dirtydan at heretechewbubblegum.com, or Flockingqueen at gmail.com.
Indeed. We're going to start out segment 1 with our special guest, Chaotic 6033 from Tik Tok. And Rebecca, do you want to set up what he's going to be talking about and explaining and so forth?
No, he can do that.
Okay. Chaotic, take it away, my friend.
What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, everybody knows, if you've been paying attention even a little bit, this year has been insane as far as like what the animals are doing, the species that they found, the things that nobody can explain. It's been an intense year as far as animals go. And the biggest thing has been the ocean to me. I mean, as far as what I've followed is the things going on in the ocean right now are insane. I can't even put my thumb on what's going on.
I've always been intrigued with the ocean because we know less about it than we do outer space.
Absolutely. I've always loved it, but after this year, I'm kind of scared shitless of it.
Well, I've always, ever since the movie 30 Meters Down, I've always been scared of the ocean. So there's that one scene in the movie where you've got, they're underwater, but they're trying to find air tanks and so forth, and you've got like a cliff this lady comes to, and there's nothing out there. And you see her just swimming across into the blackness. And to me, that's terrifying.
Yes. It is. Well, I mean, there was, I think it was a week ago, or no, it was like 7 days ago. There was thousands of people on the shore of Jersey trying to catch the megalodon. There's a bunch of people that said they spotted a 50-foot shark off the coast of Jersey. That's what?
As someone who used to fish on the coast of Jersey, I totally believe that shit being possible.
I want to know what pound test line. How big of a boat do you need to go fucking catch a 50?
The Ferd F-10,000.
Wheelhouse now.
I am going to stay on land. I am not going to fool with a megalodon.
I don't go past my ankles into the ocean, and there's good fucking reason for it.
Even when
Well, I mean,
still
just
screams 9 feet in the air because seaweed touched her foot.
It wasn't sucking seaweed. It was something trying to suck me into the ocean.
Seaweed.
It was not seaweed.
It was seaweed.
What is this?
well, I mean, the scariest part of all that is, so you got a 50-foot sharks. There was a squid the other day. I mean, these giant squids get to be 45 feet long. Where are all these things?
They get bigger than that, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's just the one that washed up was 45 feet. Like, where are all these things? And why are they appearing all now?
What's your theory on that?
I have no idea. I think that my theory is that there is an inner Earth, whether it's aliens or other civilizations, they're down there. I think the Earth is alive and she's pissed, and something's coming, and it's not coming from above us, it's coming from below us. And that's why all the animals are trying to get out of the water. That's why all these weird deep sea eels, jellyfish, octopus are all coming up from the bottom that we've never seen before. I think they're all running from something. That's my theory.
And what do you think it has anything to do with pollution as well?
A little. I mean, obviously it does. We pollute the earth. Ridiculous. It's the amount of damage we do to the earth. But I think it has a lot to do with why we're nuking underwater. I think that the secrets that have been kept for a long time are starting to surface, and they've been trying to stop it. And whatever's down there is pissed.
In your research and looking this up and doing videos and stuff on it, what would be the most terrifying animal to you that you saw living in the ocean?
Terrifying to me?
Yeah, you personally.
That's a big list.
Like your top 3.
The anglerfish. I mean, the Goliath anglerfish that are down there. That's pretty frightening. I could imagine being eaten by one of them things. I just couldn't even imagine. It's like, imagine you went sailing and the Kraken ended up being real. How terrifying would that be if you're getting sucked into the ocean by a giant octopus?
I'd be very terrified. When I was younger, I watched a Popeye movie, and at the end of it, he fights the giant octopus, and that scared the shit out of me. That was just... No, your research not only takes place on the ocean, but also on land. I mean, you've got animals that's supposed to be extinct that are popping up all over the globe, correct?
Absolutely. There was one 3 days ago, a bird. I mean, to me, it looks like the dodo bird, but it's the first time it's been seen in 140 years. I just don't...
I have a question, though.
Ultimate hide and seek champ.
Can I
For
ask
real. What?
I have a question. So like these like the birds and like the rare sightings and shit, and they're like, oh my god, we've like never seen that. Who's checking though? Like, are you sure you just didn't miss a spot, or like you didn't see it before and it's always existed and now it's just because there's so many fucking people on the planet that we're actually invading their habitat and that's why we're seeing them? Like they're like, oh well, the last caterpillar on Earth is their whatever species breed. Like, how do you know? Have you checked under all the leaves?
Well, see, that's kind of my point too. That's kind of my content kind of goes in 5 different ways, but that's kind of my point too, because they call things extinct and they pop up like 10, 15 years later. So why are they calling them extinct? Because it's just like teaching theories as facts. Like, why aren't they just saying we think this? And I don't get why everything. You know what I mean? So I try to poke hole into everybody's reality so they think for themselves.
Well, they just mow down 70% of the Amazon in the name of science so that they can look for all these lost species.
Right. I feel like science is a scam, personally, with my research.
Scientology?
I don't. Yeah. Well, I feel like science as a whole has been corrupted. Like, I even did Epstein's connections to all the scientists in the world, and it's a scary thing, dude. I feel like the whole science as a whole has been corrupted 100%.
Well, let me throw a possible theory out at you. Now, this may sound a little bit far-fetched, but just stick with me.
Okay.
People claim that in 2012, the Mayan calendar was correct, that we entered a new dimension. Let's say that that's true. Now, in this dimension, animals that were in the past one that we left from in 2012 were extinct. But in this new one, and like you said, it's been 10 years later, they're popping up, and we're just now hearing about them. Do you think that that could be true, and that could be the reason that we're seeing these animals that were classified as extinct or that we've never saw before in this dimension?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I actually heard a theory that I just heard it the other day that I got to dig into, is that something happened in World War II. Like, you know what I mean? Like the Men in Black little red thingy that wiped that. They hit the button and did something. Stargate just completely reset everything. And that's Tartaria and all that other stuff isn't really thousands of years old. It's hundreds. And we just all got wiped clean. Our memories got wiped clean.
That is, wow. That's, and now was this at the end of World War II or like the beginning?
Yeah, like it did. From what I understood it, like I told you, I haven't dug into it, but from what I understood it, World War II was about to come to an end. They were about to go down, and whatever they built or whatever, they hit the button before they lost, and that wiped everybody clean. Now, so World War II never really ended.
Well, and there's some people that claim that as well. If you do research, on Nazi technology, which TikTok does not like.
No.
But and we've talked about this 100 times on the show, and I never get tired of talking about it because it's like something new is always coming up. What you're saying, what you're researching connects back to World War II. When it ended just a few years after was, I think it was less than 18 months. You had the Roswell incident and a huge technology boom after that. And, some people claim that, all the powerful people that be from the Nazis fled to Argentina, Antarctica. Some of them went to the moon on moon bases, that they had the capability to travel and so forth, that they got from a crash in, I think, 1934, the Dark Forest or something, Black Forest crash, which you can't find a lot of information on the internet. And it seems like what Rebecca has always said, it all connects together. You start at point A and you go to point B, and then by the time you're down to D, it will take you back around to A where you started at.
Yep. Absolutely.
Now,
it's kind of scary how it all connects.
Oh, it definitely is. Now, other than the birds, what are some other things that have been coming up as just? I
was going to ask, you had sent me some, oh my God, do you guys hear that wind?
Yes.
I'm going to blow away. That's where Dirtydan went. He went to go shut the barn door for me really quick because I left it open. I didn't know the wind was going to be this bad. But you had sent me some videos and research. Is there one in particular you want me to play?
In particular? No, they're all awesome.
Oh, okay.
But as far as to answer Goose's question,
right.
All the white things, I find it fascinating. There's buffalo, moose, spirit bears, all these white, and they're not albinos. They're actually just all white animals that have been spotted this year. There's like 15 of them.
Wow.
It's crazy.
So you also said that there was like a weird horror story behind this. So what's that?
Which one was that? Oh, the spirit bear.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. Let me get the, I got to figure out how to share my share window. Is there a window? There we go. Okay, can you see this?
Yes.
All right. So what's the story behind this one?
So this thing, right? It got spotted. It's like it says, one in a million shot that this thing even exists. And this is the problem I have with science. This thing was spotted on a trail cam, as you can see all the pictures and everything. And then, literally a week later, they came out with all these headlines and stuff that this thing was butchered by a pack of wolves. But the thing about it is that if you read the story behind the whole spirit bear and the white bear, it goes back to Indian civilizations, and they have a whole backstory behind the spirit bear. So that's why I find I just have a hard time swallowing the fact that just miraculously this thing was butchered by wolves.
What was their evidence to base that it was butchered by? Well, I guess.
Yeah, that they just found it.
I didn't scroll before, so sorry about that.
Oh, you're totally fine.
I want to know why they like assume that like where did the white bear go? We just like all of a sudden, oh, we're on a different bear now.
Yeah, it's so vague. They bounce around it. And it's like that with every article you look up with it too, pretty much.
Now, I mean, do you know off the top of your head through your research how many white bears have been spotted over the last 10 or 20 years?
I don't personally, but I do know. So not to take it there, but in some ways, all these white animals are biblical.
Yes.
I feel like that's why they're killing them off. Because people are like standing behind these animals, like the white buffalo that was just spotted. Like that's a huge biblical thing.
I'm going to have to check that one out. The white buffalo. I don't think I've saw that one yet.
Did you send me that one?
No, I don't think I did.
Okay.
You gotta stop me.
But I mean,
you said yeah, you did.
Oh, did I? Nice.
Yeah, you did. Hold on, it's right here.
we'll check it out right now.
Did my homework.
I've always been fascinated by the Native American stuff, you know, with the white.
It's a white buffalo calf.
Me too.
Whoa.
All of the whole culture, Native American culture, is amazing.
That is unbelievable. Extremely rare. So
They all say it. Every white one, like almost every article I sent her is like 1 in a million, 1 in 5 million. It's crazy, and it's all this year.
now, what's the chances on all these animals being found? Like you said, all these years.
I don't know.
You know, to me, it'd be slim to none.
Right? Lobsters. I mean, it goes everywhere.
That's what is that a moose?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, up until these pictures, I had only saw like one white deer. I'd saw one of those before. And I think that was it. The bear, I wish the bear had lived. I wish, you know, I hope the moose, I hope the buffalo, I hope they all live.
Me too. It's amazing. I think it's amazing.
Now, these have been popping up. You was talking about on the coast of New Jersey. And somebody commented, I think Plum Island. I don't know if that's the same.
1 in 100 million.
Whoa. That is big.
Like, what are the chances of that? It's crazy.
And that's a lobster that we're looking at for those of you listening to the podcast.
I'm just clicking shit.
How, I mean, and somebody mentioned in the comments Plum Island. And there's islands I know in the New Jersey area around that way that they claim have, you know, stuff has been found before. I think one of them, maybe in 2015 or 17, was like the body of it kind of looked like a dog, but it was dead. They found it on a beach, and they claimed it was a hairless, I think maybe wolf or coyote, but its head and beak or head and mouth did not look like that. And some people claim that it actually escaped from the lab. Do you think some of these could be being manufactured and escaping, or they're releasing them?
Absolutely. The possibility is definitely there. But I feel like they're just, I feel like they're coming up from the bottom. Like these things always existed, but they either hid them from us or they haven't even seen them. So they're just trying to scramble and come up with whatever crap they can to put a label to it. Yeah, look at that catfish. All white catfish.
White catfish. And was that caught in Tennessee, or was the guy that caught it from Tennessee?
Tennessee River.
Whoa. That's
that thing.
that's close to home.
It's amazing.
Well, let me ask you this: with all these animals popping up that we have never seen, or we're not supposed to be here, we're supposed to be extinct, would it surprise you if you had dinosaurs pop up somewhere on some island that we've never been on, or so forth?
Well, I mean, I don't believe in dinosaurs. I don't think dinosaurs are real, but I do think there is dinosaur-esque animals out there. Absolutely.
Right.
I don't think
Hold
the
on,
definition of.
Stop. Hold on. Wait a second. I got questions. Why don't you think dinosaurs exist?
Have you ever seen a dinosaur with a reproductive organ?
I've not.
Me neither.
Eels don't have reproductive organs either, and they still fucking pop up.
So explain eels.
Your triangle to Saturn, but yeah,
So explain eels.
they come from Saturn. That's my explanation for eels. They go through so that's their migratory path. They go to the Bermuda Triangle every year, and they come back with spawn, but they have no reproductive organs.
You go to Saturn. Maybe dinosaurs go to Saturn.
I mean, I have chickens. I do have to believe that dinosaurs exist to some extent.
No, I think they're just, like I said, they're scrambling they find all these bones and stuff, and they're scrambling to make what it is, and they don't know. Like, it's just science playing their games. Like, yeah, if you really research dinosaur bones, you can't get next to real dinosaur bones because they have so much radiation. So any real dinosaur bones you see in museums and everything else are encased in concrete and all kinds of crap. They're not the actual bone. So why do bones have radiation and we can't see them? And on top of that, why does every giant dinosaur, have wings? It looks like it has wings. So I think they're
dragons. Like, I believe
that's what I'm saying.
Dragon.
Me too. But that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I think dragons and all that other stuff could be real, but they keep finding all these bones and stuff, so people don't believe. They believe in the simple definition for things, and it doesn't leave people's minds to wander and actually think for themselves.
I mean, James has got a point though. Like, would you see in a fossil? Would you see reproductive organs? I mean, wouldn't that not be there?
I would say
Your
no.
point?
Not. I mean, because you're. Well, the reproductive organs of Mo. Well, I think in whales, some of those they found whale corpses that may have like a bone reproductive organ, and don't hold me to that. But I think that they would, wouldn't be there if you found bones. I didn't know that dinosaur bones had radiation. I had never really researched. I have researched dragons.
Or is that just what they tell us?
Yeah, see, that could all be bullshit too.
Yeah. Now, I have researched dragons and unicorns. Not a lot, but just a little bit. And dragons. I think it's very possible that dragons at one time did exist, and the same goes for unicorns. I think at one time they couldn't have possibly existed.
Unicorns exist because the narwhal is a thing.
I should have sent it to you. They actually just like last week found a intact unicorn skeleton. I have the thing on my phone, but I can't send it to you right now.
Oh,
Send
wow.
Send it to me on
Can you look it up? I don't know if you can do that like live.
What is it called? Unicorn?
Just look, unicorn skeleton, November 2022.
That is wild.
Yeah, I mean, who knows if it's real or not, but wow, it looks pretty.
Not like that.
Yeah, and we got Purple Princess and Mapo commenting, unicorns and rhinos. And that's
is a reconstruction.
Oh, it was a reconstructed unicorn?
Hold on, real. We'll do real. Found. When was it? Is this it?
It was in November.
Siberia?
Yes, that was it.
Okay. Share. Hold on, I'm clicking things. There we go. That is not what they look like.
No.
Is this the article, though?
It was white, no.
Oh, it was a white unicorn as well.
It was a skeleton. Yeah.
This? That's a video. We can buy unicorn skeletons. I don't know what you're going to have to send it to me on break.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
And, while we're talking about that, Bolin Cox made a comment a few minutes ago. I was going to say, he said that it could be possible that all the white animals could be racist. So thank you very much, Bolin, for commenting that. This is all fascinating.
But on that comment, there's just as many black. Like if you switch over, there's been a bunch of black animals that have been found. All black leopard for the first time in 100-something years was found this year. It goes both ways. There's just not as many. It's not prevalent like the white ones.
And this may sound stupid. Wouldn't a black leopard be a panther?
No, you can see the spots through it.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
It's pretty amazing.
Gotcha. Dirtydan, you've missed it. We've been talking about unicorns, white animals.
I was just defying the laws of gravity, not getting fucking blown away out there.
Well,
how bad was the barn?
Not that bad because he didn't latch the back door either, so that was swung open. So it was just all
going through.
It was self-cleaning.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Bindi was a little worked up, so I split the last carrot between her and Dixie and gave him pets for a few
Do they have
minutes.
water?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You're a good man, Dirtydan.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Do you guys want to step away and take a break for a little bit and come back and we'll finish up this segment and go into segment 3?
It's like shit. I don't care.
We can. Do you want to do a 10-minute break?
Yeah. We're going to take a 10-minute break.
Back at 10:38.
Sounds good. And if you're listening to the podcast, we'll be back after a few commercials and the news. You're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum.
I took a walk around the world to ease my troubled mind. I left my body lying somewhere in the sands of time. But I watched the world flow to the dark side of the moon. I feel there's nothing I can do. Yeah.
Take a lighter look into the darker side of the world. Join Elliot, Gertie, and Beagle as they jump into the dark abyss of hauntings, fables, UFOs, and beyond. The Spooky Family Podcast. You can find them where you listen to quality podcasts.
It's time for the news on Here to Chew Bubblegum. I am Goose. Japanese Space Agency had to abandon a historic lunar landing attempt. Japan will have to wait a little longer to perform its historic first lunar landing. That's because a tiny Japanese moon lander that hitched a ride aboard NASA's Artemis 1 moon mission has failed to make it to the lunar surface, a report from Space.com says. Officials say that the moon spacecraft failed to pick up the CubeSats signal ahead of a planned lunar landing attempt. This is one of 10 CubeSats missions that took to the skies with the launch of NASA's Space Launch System for its Artemis 1 mission, according to the NEA Scout mission, which will send a smaller solar cell spacecraft to a nearby asteroid. Communication with the craft could not be established, and it was determined that the lunar landing maneuver could not be performed. The Japanese Aerospace and Exploration Agency tweeted on Monday, November 21st. Initial communication with the craft suggested it rotated heavily and that its solar cells were not picking up enough sunlight. The team tried to vent some fuel to stabilize the course, but they found that insufficient voltage and had to turn off the transmitter. Government employees who are witnesses to UFOs may soon be able to break their silence. More U.S. military and government officials with knowledge of or existence with UFOs are expected to come out of the shadows soon. This is because the annual Defense Authorization Bill will likely include language allowing current and former government employees and federal contractors to share what they know about UFOs, or what the federal government prefers to call them, UAPs. And they will be able to do this without fear of reprimand or retaliation. The provision is included in the House version of the National Defense Authorization Act for the next fiscal year, and that was approved in July. The Senate has not approved its own version, and House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, who's vying to become the next Speaker of the House, said last week that he'd like to delay the passage of the bill until next year, when his Republican Party takes control of the chamber. UFO investigator and author Richard Lang said he's in touch with people who have knowledge about UFOs and UAPs, and a lot of them want to share this knowledge when the time is right. John Y. Brown Jr., former governor of Kentucky and KFC owner, died recently at the age of 88. He was elected to one term in office in 1979, shortly after being married to sportscaster and former Miss America Phyllis George. John Y. Brown Jr., a one-time owner of Kentucky Fried Chicken, who parlayed his fast food fortune to a dramatic rise in Kentucky politics, winning one term as governor. He died on November 21st at a hospital in Lexington, Kentucky. He was 88 years old. He had complications from COVID-19, and his daughter, Pamela Brown, an anchor and senior Washington correspondent at CNN, the son of a one-term congressman who longed for a higher office. Mr. Brown entered politics after a business career in which he helped Kentucky Fried Chicken into one of the state's most famous exports and one of the largest fast food chains in the world. He was also an owner of 3 professional basketball teams, among those including the Boston Celtics. Legends about the Bermuda Triangle have circulated for decades, but the superstition has died down in recent years. So does that mean the mysteries were solved, or does it mean strange things still happen there? The area, sometimes referred to as the Devil's Triangle, is in a western part of the North Atlantic. In 1964, an American author described several strange instances that had occurred in the area. The reports of disappearances and other strange occurrences began in the mid-19th century. First Flight 19 was a mission named for a group of 5 torpedo bombers that mysteriously disappeared while flying over the Bermuda Triangle in 1945. The remains of the bombers have never been found, and the reason for their disappearance remains a mystery to this day. It opened up the previously mentioned Pandora's box, with other authors like Charles Burles sensationalizing the loss of ships, the loss of aircrafts, along with accounts of survivors. Even though the theories have speculation about the triangle may have died down, some strange things are still going on there even today, suggest recent reports. In entertainment news, the actor who played Victor Kiriakis on Days of Our Lives from 1985 until the time of his death was celebrated for his acting achievements by loved ones and industry friends. Days of Our Lives shared a touching tribute to John, who appeared in an episode of the Peacock series on the day of his death. Our hearts are broken over the loss of our beloved family member, John Aniston, the official Days of Our Lives Twitter account shared. "We love you, John. Your legend will live on forever." The Days Emmy Awards offered their condolences by remembering John's recent Lifetime Achievement Award. The entire Emmy community mourns the passing of Days Peacock legend John Aniston, our 2022 Daytime Emmys Lifetime Achievement honoree and a true Emmy icon in every respect. John's daughter, Jennifer Aniston, paid tribute to her father with an emotional Instagram post. Reporting for Here to Chew Bubblegum News, I am Goose.
From the heart of Appalachia, located under a shopping mall near the city that moves mountains, you're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum with Goose, Dirtydan, and Rebecca.
I'm an old man now, I can't do nothing. Young folks don't pay me no mind. But in my day, I sure was something. Before I felt the heavy hand of time.
And welcome back to Here to Chew Bubblegum.
Hi.
I saw Chaotic putting his headphones on as well, so. We had the John Dillinger thing. We'll save that for another time because I'm enjoying having Chaotic on here. So, did you send to Rebecca what you were going to?
I tried, but then I realized my phone was dying, so it was either die for a charger and keep it going, or
Gotcha.
So,
Well, we
my
can.
bad.
Hey, you can save that for next time you're on. You're welcome back anytime. So,
yeah, sounds good to me.
is there anything that you want to add that you wanted to specifically talk about with in regards to alleged extinction of animals that we're now seeing all over the world?
With the extinction,
Yeah.
or like them all coming back to life.
Yeah, them all coming back to life.
I keep an eye on nature. Everybody. I mean, man is such an unreliable source that there's got to be a reason. You know, and there's got to be a reason why all this stuff is showing up. I mean, everybody's got their theories. I have my own. Whether it's, I don't know, whatever you believe, just step into your truth. You know what I mean? That's what I think it is. It could be a multitude of different things going on, but something's going on.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think something's going on not only with that, but with other things, just all over. I can't say this right now, but when we end the show, hang around, Chaotic. I'll tell you guys something that I had jotted down, but I'm not going to mention it on the show right now. So,
Okay.
Dirtydan, what's your thoughts over all these animals that are thought to be extinct, but are now coming back? That they're being spotted all over the world.
Well, from the little bit of this I did hear, and I follow. I think I just watched an animal become extinct across our lawn because of the wind.
Was it one of my chickens?
No, it looked like a little white cat.
A white cat?
Yeah.
Wow. Talk about a coincidence. So, and just so you guys know, turkeys do not fly.
They can fly, especially when you hit them at 55 mile an hour. Well, I guess it's more falling with style, as Buzz Lightyear said. Which is a whole I don't know if you all have seen the new movie Buzz, but getting back that email with the light will go out of Mars thing.
Right.
I would go watch the new Buzz. I think it's called, what is it called? Lightyear, babes?
I think that might be the name of it.
Yes, it's
Lightyear?
Lightyear. Buzz Stars.
Okay.
That's Buzz Stars. Lightyear. Yeah.
But I'm not babes. I just want everyone to know that.
I know. But these animals, and I was only half joking when I said to Alan, like, hide and seek champion. I feel like we've always been the lead cause of destruction for a lot of these animals. And when they get down to such a small amount, they probably realize, hey, we need to, skedaddle so we can rebuild. And they disappear. Where they go, I don't know, but I don't think they truly end up becoming extinct. I think they're trying to rebuild themselves.
So you think that's like an inner survival skill to these animals that they sense to, it's time to go? And
well, I mean, in the early 2000s, they said that the last of the known giant squid had washed up on the shore, or it might have been late 90s, like 98, 99, 2000, somewhere around there. And then when Fukushima happened, they found like 40 something of them inland.
Yeah.
That were clearly not, hadn't been dead, and they were just floating in the snow. Like they were fresh. I think one or two was still alive that they wound up taking to a lab. But like clearly, if 40 something of them are able to be washed up ashore, over a decade after they were last known and last seen, I mean, right there, what better than to hide in the depths of the ocean to do your shit and rebuild yourself and come back? And now, since Fukushima, they've had a report of one over 90 foot long.
Right. Well,
if you're not running from the Kraken, I would.
You're damn.
I mean, he's got an excellent point, because this year alone, like I tell you, everything's happening this year. This year alone, they've discovered something called the immortal jellyfish, and it goes right along with what Dirtydan said. I made a video on it and everything, but basically what these animals do is, it's not that they are immortal, but when they stay with no resources, no food, nothing else, they revert back to being a child. So they'll start off as a larvae or whatever and become a jellyfish. Well, if they run out of food or light or whatever they need to survive, they'll actually revert back. They'll revert the aging process and go back to being.
Yeah, they shed their tentacles, they shed their fins and gills and all that shit, and they literally shrink down the back like a single cell organism and then restart life all over again.
Yep.
And that made me think about eels, because I still don't know how that whole thing works.
I mean, it's true. Maybe they do the same thing.
Yeah. The jellyfish you're talking, has that been found like a couple of years ago?
Is that the one you said?
Yeah, that's the one I sent you. The one they're talking about now was discovered this year. It was earlier this year.
Okay. There may have been, it might not have been, there was something else a couple of years ago that they discovered, and I know that they were
oh no, not that one,
using
that one,
parts of it to test, so forth, the reverse aging process.
Yeah, I personally think that's not the one, Rebecca, but that one's amazing too. Like, how does that? This is the first time this thing's ever been seen.
What is
ever.
that?
It's huge.
Is that a tattoo?
It's amazing. I sent the video to her too.
That is a tattooed jellyfish.
Anything other than that jellyfish is. Oh wait, is it this one?
No, see, that's another one. Look at that.
Sent me the wrong shit that you're talking about.
Oh, my bad. I thought I sent you the videos too. But yeah, it's insane. These things are aliens, literally.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I don't eat shit out of the ocean. That's a whole other dimension you're fucking with. You're telling me that Fred the fish and fucking John the fish are just swimming along one day, and Fred's like, "Oh, look at this!" And then he just gets snatched out of his fucking reality, and they're like, "Oh my god, what happened to Fred?" They're like, "I don't know. He was abducted by aliens."
I want to ask you real quick, have you done any research? I think it may have been earlier this year or sometime last year. There was a woolly mammoth, and I think it was this year, that was found, I think, in Siberia as well, that was fully intact.
Yep. There was one just found up in the northern United States.
Alaska, yeah.
Really?
No, not Alaska, continental.
Really?
Is it continental? I forget where that is.
I think it was Michigan. I'm pretty sure it was Michigan. They literally fully just found one, fur and all.
Yeah, well, this one I think found in Siberia. It had fur. I mean, it was frozen. I mean, it was fully intact. Completely.
Yeah.
So you have heard about that. Do you think, even though they're not, they say it is illegal? I know that they clone stuff, and there's no doubt in my mind. You can do a little bit of research and find out that the first human allegedly was cloned in like the late 70s. But do you think that someone could try to clone this woolly mammoth? I mean, because they said everything was intact, blood, organs, everything, fur. I mean, it was just froze.
Yeah. They just brought that tiger back from the dead from that way, from the
saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah, they just I forget what it was called, but they just brought it back from dinosaur DNA. It's been extinct forever.
Okay, so they brought it back to life, or they cloned it and brought it back?
Same. Well, they cloned it, like they used its DNA to clone it and bring it back.
It's a saber tooth.
Really?
Is that what it is? Yeah, I forget. What.
See, I had not heard of this. Is this recently?
That was this year too. Yeah, it was not too long ago.
Wow.
And on that article about the one in Michigan, the guy was quoted saying it literally looks like this thing could thaw out and just walk off.
You're talking about the woolly mammoth. Yeah.
The mammoth.
Yeah.
It was preserved that well that it literally looked like it could just take a step and walk off.
Huh. I'm gonna have to do some research on the saber tooth.
It's that kind of stuff right there that makes me think that it's been like World War II has hit the reset button. It's been like a couple hundred years instead of thousands and thousands of years.
There's a saber tooth. Rebecca's got it up.
Whoa. That is wow.
What did that title say? 98% pure? Yep.
Oh.
There it is. Yep.
98. There we go. Yeah.
Now, how old is the saber tooth? Does anybody have any idea?
Didn't you watch Ice Age, Goose? It was around when woolly mammoths were.
Well, yeah. No, I'm talking about the.
And did the sloth.
I'm talking about since this one has been cloned and brought back. How old is this one?
This article was in 2014.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there's another one that they did this year that was actually. It was. I don't think it was a tiger. I think it was like a wild dog. I think. I forget.
Wow. Right
there. That's him. Tasmanian tiger. That's what it was. That was this year, I believe.
I wonder when they bring that stuff back by cloning, if they're free of disease that would have killed them off from who they were or what animal they were originally cloned from.
What's the function of it? Like, what's the, you know what I mean? What is the functioning purpose of bringing something back that went extinct? I mean, if you're biblical, then it was meant to be extinct.
Again, though, but 9 times out of 10, clearing 72% of the fucking Amazon rainforest, how many things do we make, quote unquote, go extinct?
Very true.
That was going to be my question. Like, did we cause their extinction because we're fucking with shit all the time and we're like mold on a fucking sandwich that we're confusing science with nature and we're destroying nature in the process.
We're confusing science with fact, in my eyes.
No, we're confusing science with learning.
Yes. Just like the school system.
That's
they have like a spice rack full of DNA vials just ready to make stuff. So it's interesting that you say that because the theory of Noah's Ark is that it wasn't actually a fucking like ship that he built with all of these fucking cages for animals, because what do animals do? Eat other fucking animals. You're telling me he got all those hay bales on that ship for all those? No. So, but there's a theory, though, if it was alien intervention, right, and he had this, like, outer worldly knowledge of this, that it was actually a DNA bank, and it was all of these, like, it was a DNA bank, the ship was. So that's why it was possible, because they were in all of these, and they have them now. They have, like, food and seed banks. Where is it, in Norway or something like that, where they have, like, ready to go? Like, if everything fucking died.
I think it's Sweden that's buried in. It's in a mountaintop. Yeah, right? It's a mountaintop. It's super fucking guarded secret. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, shit mess. You're not wrong.
Well, Jurassic Park just came real this year too. They found that mosquito in the embryo, 100% intact. Yeah.
I did see that. I did see that. I mean, hell, I've saw that movie. I know how that ends. That's just, no. Let's just stay away from that.
James, I don't think the Ark is on the top of a mountain in Turkey in a glacier. I think the Ark is in the top of something, but because of rising sea levels, that's how Gilligan's island got formed, they got trapped, but that's how they were able to survive because they had all the stuff from the ark there.
Well, on that one, we're going to move on to segment 3 and let Rebecca read some question of the week responses from last week. And I think that the question was, well, no, actually, no. Okay. Will it ever be possible to teach others to think for themselves instead of following the group think mentality? Rebecca.
We had some really good answers on this one. So I'll read a couple. At this point, those people aren't sheeple, those are ostriches, and they choose to put their heads in the sand. I like that one.
That's a good one.
Yes, but there are, so yes, in answer to the question, but there are sheep that will follow whatever someone else tells them. Everybody, there was a lot of like, I hope so, like hopeful comments. It can be done, but it's going to take the ones that do see the truth to stop letting the herd make them feel crazy and alone. We are the light. I'd compare it to addiction. They have to want the help and decide to do the work. Critical thinking isn't comfortable and it requires sacrifice. I think some will learn eventually. I think as a collective, however, they will stay in group thinking. Sad reality and wishful thinking, I suppose. It starts with making sure our younger generations know it's acceptable to question everything. We need to adjust our own expectations on when this will happen and expect that this is the only outcome. Our perception is our reality.
Those are some good ones.
Yeah, a lot of people were, yes, they can. And I do think that, but also I think that in a way, though, it's kind of, you fall into this like inception spiral of it, because in a way of stepping away from a groupthink mentality, aren't you then following another groupthink mentality of stepping away?
Always.
Right? So
Yeah.
like it's just gonna keep like branching off into these other, it's just gonna keep having a half-life, right? Like that's how I think of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. It definitely does. Oh, I want to thank everyone for responding to the question of the week. Rebecca, please go ahead.
What am I doing?
Do you want to give us a new question of the week, or do you want to give us?
I have one.
Or do you want to give us a couple and have the Twitch audience pick it?
No,
or,
I just chose one this week.
Okay. Or do you want to give us a couple and have our special guest pick the question of the week?
No, I'm just gonna pick this one.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Because that's all I have. I prepared a question. I didn't prepare multiple choices. So what is it about the human mind that allows it to come up with ideas that no one has ever considered before?
That's a good one.
Perspective.
What is it about and I'll just take a screenshot of that instead of trying to jot that down. That's easier that way.
So yeah, what is it about the human mind that allows it to come up with ideas that no one has ever considered before? And I will be making a video of that, and you can find that. I have like my playlist like on my TikTok, so you can like go to certain ones, and then we read the questions, the answers. Except last week, I dropped the ball last week, but we try and read the answer.
It happens sometimes. I know you were worried because Dirtydan had really bad hemorrhoids. We'll forgive you this time. Do you want to give our shout out to the TikToker of the week, Rebecca?
I do want to give a shout out to a TikToker of the week. I am going to shout out Heather Simmons, and her handle is @LovesTheAnswerNow. And Heather's been a member of the flock for a while, and she has these really cool ideas and interesting concepts in the way that she connects stuff. And this girl does her research. Like, she does her fucking research. And I got the privilege of, when I went to Virginia, she was super close. Her and Jen and Jess were all super close to where I stayed. So I got to go have dinner with Heather, and we spent some time together, and it was really good. But this girl keeps getting fucking banned on TikTok. So this is her new account.
Okay.
So let's get her. She used to go live from the ARE like meditation center, and she would do like sunset and sunrise lives on the beach and stuff. Like, all of her content is just positivity and research and shit. So I don't know why she keeps getting banned. I know she was in the chat earlier. I don't know if she's still here.
Well, there's a lot of people that just don't like what some people have to say on TikTok, and instead of letting them have their free speech, they do a pussy move and report them. Yeah,
and her handle again is @LovesTheAnswerNow. and she'll be tagged in the show, and it's tagged in here now. If someone could drop that in the comments on TikTok so that everybody can pick her out, that would be great too.
And I'll be posting something later on today with her. And
you started doing the TikToker of the Week videos. I'm here for it.
Thank you very much. And if you or Dirtydan want to do them, you're more than welcome to too. I just thought that after we did Purple Princesses, we had a really good response. I thought, maybe I'm going to put some footage in there as well from the person's actual, TikTok and people seem to be liking it. So I'll be posting something later on today to our TikToker of the Week. Loves the answer now. I want to give a very, very special thanks to my friend Chaotic. Be sure to check him out and follow him on TikTok as well at Chaotic6033.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you are welcome back anytime. We look forward to having you on again. I want to remind everyone to be sure to check out episodes of Just Listen on YouTube, Cooking with Dirtydan on TikTok, and check out Rebecca Short, Flockingqueen on TikTok, and Queen of the Flock 138 on Twitch. Dirtydan, turning it over to you, my friend.
As always, be sure to check out a couple friends of the show. We got CarbonCaptureShield.com. Carbon Capture Shield's a company founded by our very own DJ Nikki. If you're not familiar with who he is, go back into the depths of the Here to Chew Bubblegum episodes, take a listen, and do some research on his company and see the great things he's doing to try and help this world become a better place again, and how he's making it available for you too also. And we have Goose's favorite thing to say, Till Valhalla Project. Check out the TVT team, spread the message, spread the awareness, spread the word, and popular, unpopular opinion, I don't care. Still check out Adventures with Purpose and rally behind all the members that were once or are part of that. There's still a greater cause to be had, and that needs to be done. And there's closure that needs to be brought to friends, family, communities, loved ones. Go check them out. Go follow everybody from there and support them in continuing on their journey.
That'll do it for this week. But remember, we all have a voice. If we stand together, we can make the world a better place. We'll see you next week. So long for now.
Maybe I'm not leaving. Maybe I'm just going home.
Flock her out.
Thanks for listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum. You can always call, text, or leave a voicemail for Here to Chew Bubblegum at 606-373-3396. Tune in next time as we dive deeper into things the government doesn't want us to know.